Good day, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And my guest today, you know him as a founding member and frontman of Vancouver's own Econoline Crush, who will be doing a run of Canadian dates this fall in support of their brand new single, New Gold Magic. Please welcome my guest, TREVOR HURST. What's going on?
Hi, not too much, just, kind of cloudy day here in Manitoba.
We're in Manitoba today. Well, what's going on? Where are you right now?
I'm at work on lunch break. I work at Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. It's about 35 kilometers just west of Brandon.
There you go. And how's that going for you?
It's going really well. I do wellness and addictions work and mental health and stuff like that. And it's really good. It's a rewarding job.
I was about to say, it seems that it's been very well rewarding for you, and that's awesome that you took those steps to, get yourself a nice balance of a career, and then you can still entertain your music side of things and keep that creativity going.
Exactly. That was the hope, and so far it's been working out.
But now, as things are picking up for Econoline Crush, does it seem that it might be a bit of a challenge to balance the two things? Because we got a big single. This is a big day coming up next Friday on September the 26th. Econoline Crush, brand new single, New Gold Magic. You start a run of dates in Vancouver on October the 4th, and then we can get to the big announcement of shows that are happening in early 2026. So is this going to be a bit of a thing to balance the two for you, or do you think you got it sorted?
Well, it's always a thing. Like, and I have a family as well, so it's a balancing act, and it's not as simple as it once was. But at the same time, I have very supportive boss, and I have very supportive staff here in Sioux Valley, so I'm able to kind of get the time off when I need it, and I'm very grateful for that. And my family, my kids understand that their dad goes and rocks occasionally.
But you're never gone for super long, like strings of time, so that's not too bad. You're kind of in and out, back and forth sort of thing, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think the longest will be the stuff coming up in 26, but again, it's generally only, at maximum a month or so. So it's not too bad. Like it's okay. We tend to split it up if we can.
Excellent. Now, talk a bit about this brand new single, New Gold Magic. That's pretty exciting time for you.
It really is. I had been following Kane and Kevin Churko. Kevin Churko's his father, Kane is the son. These two producers, they were born in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and they they work out of a studio called The Hideout in Las Vegas, and they've done amazing job with a lot of rock, alternative rock acts in the States. And I really wanted to work with Kane, and the opportunity came up, and I jumped on it, and we did three songs together actually, but two we finished, and New Gold Magic was one of them. And just the way the song came together, it was really kind of fun. It has this kind of attitude to it, and to me, it's sort of it's about bringing back the swagger and that kind of just being a little bit defiant, I think. And it's got that, for me, it's got that feel of defiance and rebellion, and it's about getting your swagger back.
Reminding you maybe a bit of your roots and what got you started in the biz, and when you figured you knew it all way back then.
Yeah. I mean, there's something beautiful about thinking you know it all when you don't. That you can just plow ahead in ignorant bliss, but at the same time, rock and roll is kind of one of those things where you just have to do it. Like, you just have to, like, stop talking about it and get out there and do it. And we have been very blessed that we have a great team of people around us, great management and great agent and great partners in the label, that we've been able to sustain this. And like, I feel so fortunate. And it's really bizarre that, we're still able to do it after being a band for almost 30 years.
Well, that's a wild thing. Maybe we'll get to it a bit later, but I remember being at the Purge CD release at Love Affair back in the day, which is just
wow.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We can get to that a bit later, but now did you say 2-3 songs that you've worked on so far with Kane?
Yeah, like we have 3, but 2 are finished, and the third one is in close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are we just working on a song here, song there? Will this develop into a full-on album?
I'm hoping it will develop into a full-on album. We're just trying to figure out the logistics of that, and when, we would have the luxury of going in and making a record, having that time. So that's probably the most difficult thing, because making a record is different than going out and doing shows. Doing shows, you know what you are going out for, you know how long it'll take. You never know when you go in the studio if it's going to be quick or if it's going to take a few extra days. Um, you can't really rush the creative process too much. So I don't know. We're really, that's our big thing right now, is we've been kind of strategizing as to how to get in and make another record. And that's the goal. So hopefully we'll get there.
I think you will. I think you will. Now, I wanted you to touch on a bit on the last album. This year, like this is perhaps something that people haven't maybe totally got around to, or maybe there's some people they're like, oh, right, that's out there. I haven't got to it yet. There's
Yeah.
some really quality stuff on this as well. Can you talk a bit about that?
Well, When the Devil Drives was made with producer Ian Alexander Smith, and we went in and we had some songs that I had from demos from before and had recorded, and then there was other stuff we wrote on the fly. And it's a very introspective record, because it was right after Ziggy had passed, and we well, actually it was recorded before and after. So there's a lot of stuff that it had, yeah, it's an introspective record for sure. And I really love some of the songs. I'm very proud of it. There's some really great stuff on there, and Ian did a great job producing it.
Excellent. Now back to the tour though. So October 4th, you start in Vancouver, and then later in October, you start more of an extensive kind of Western Middle Canada run, and then you end up making your way to down to Ontario in later November. I was also seeing that you're going to be offering some VIP packages on this tour. Now, is that for all of those dates? Because I only saw certain dates posted. So is it just select dates that's offered?
I think it's just select dates. I'm not sure how that's going to roll out. Um, it's a new thing for us. Like, we never used to do that before, charge for that, but I guess it's a new thing now that people are doing. So yeah, we're doing it in some of the dates, but not every date. I mean, I'm always, after every show, I've been going out to the audience and signing stuff at the merch booth and hanging around, because it's one of my favorite things, is just being able to talk to fans now after all these years, and they tell you like, oh man, I was going through this, or this was happening, and then I put your song on. Or the last show we played in Vancouver, a gentleman came up to me and um, just started talking to me, and he said he had been to his father's funeral that day, and that he was listening to our music to kind of get through it. And it was a really amazing moment. And I had lost my father a year before, and so it was yeah, really touching moment. And those things are really amazing, and they're really genuine, and they remind you of how important music is, and how, like, these songs that we put together can be very impactful in people's lives. And so we don't take it for granted. And I always like to go out and talk to the people. So as far as VIP stuff, I don't know. We'll have to just check in on our website, and that'll let fans know if there's going to be a VIP thing.
Well, that's cool that you still like to come out to the merch table after and sign, as many artists do. And I think there can be that middle ground where you can still offer maybe something a bit more exclusive for the VIPs, whether that be a pre-show sound check or early chance to buy merch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also to not be so, well, I can't come out after, where you can still offer both opportunities while you're still paying respect and understanding the fans that help catapult the band and still are there for the band after 30 plus years.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, like, I want to make sure that we always honor the fans that have been with us since the beginning, and also welcoming the new ones. It's really an amazing thing when people have, like, we had a show with a VIP kind of after show meet and greet in Lethbridge 2 shows ago, I guess, and the VIP group was all under 18 or around 18 years old, and they had discovered our music through a video game. So you never know who's going to come.
And to them, it's all brand new.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to respect that. And that's awesome to know that there's still other people there still discovering Econoline Crush. And perhaps more people will discover Econoline Crush after the pretty cool tour that you guys just announced this past week, where you'll be doing a run of dates in February and early March with live and big.
Yeah,
That's a big deal. You should be
it's
pretty proud of.
amazing.
Yeah. So talk about that. Like, how'd that come together?
Well, this is really wild because okay, so the last time that we played, we used to do radio shows in America a ton when we were touring The Devil You Know and Brand New History. And these radio shows would have like, 20, 30 bands on them and almost like 50, 60,000 people every time. And the last one we played was in one of the Carolinas. I can't remember which one. All I remember is Moby opened for us, and I was shocked, like just blown away by that. And then as we were finishing up that was on the B stage, like we headlined the B stage, the A stage started to play on the other side of the grounds, the fairgrounds, wherever we were, and live started to play, and Ed singing, and I was just like, this is like perfect. Like it sounds like the record. It's amazing. And I was telling a friend just like not even 3 weeks ago, I was saying, telling him that story, and I was saying, like, I hope I get to see Ed sing again one day because like this guy is a star. He's so good. He can nail every note perfectly. And then this tour comes along. It's like, what? So I am absolutely ecstatic. And I love Big Rec. I love Ian. It's like and his band, the guys are all great. So it's going to be a great run. I can't wait.
A little serendipitous, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you never know. You can manifest things, I guess, as they say.
And will this develop into more dates, or because I see how the run is kind of split? So now are you the way the like I saw the full gig poster for it. So you start in Vancouver or Abbotsford, I believe it is, and wrap up in Hamilton, or is that how it'll go?
It'll go all the way. I think the only dates that we are not participating in are they've got the Damn Truth for Laval, Montreal or something, and then Halifax, I think. So there's like we have I think the bulk of the dates except for the last four.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I wish we could go to Halifax, though. I miss playing the East so much because especially Halifax is crazy. It's good times.
Well, they support shows, and I think partly maybe because they don't get so many. So when they do, they really come out in droves.
Yeah, they do. And they party.
Excellent. Now maybe that might lead into some summer festivals, and you just did some summer festivals this past summer, of course, in 2025. How did those go?
They were fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we had some great festivals and like that we did a couple shows with Sloan. We've done some with we did one just like a couple weeks ago with Trooper in Lethbridge, and it's been really fun. And I love those summers, summer kind of festival dates because everybody kind of comes to have a great time. It's their vacation. They're ready to go, and those shows always seem to go off so well, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, the bands are all in a good mood. It's Canada at its best, summertime rock and roll.
So is it something that maybe people can look forward to in 2026 summertime that Econoline Crush might hit their city or their town?
Yeah, for sure. We've already started booking into next year. Besides these live dates, we have some festival dates coming up, and I'm hoping that we're going to do Rock in the Fields and in Minnedosa and some other spots, and yeah, like there's so many great festivals. Like, yeah, I can't wait. I'm sure that we'll get a bunch this summer.
You got a little mini explosion going on, and you got to, I guess, ride it while you can, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like when the wave hits, you gotta be prepared. And it's an interesting thing about rock and roll because you never know. Like I I've been teased by a lot of friends, but my toiletry bag is always packed. I never unload it because you never know when you're gonna get that call. Hey, are you guys able to come to a show? Yes.
Oh, good to go. Now, shows and events. So I'll bring it back to 31 years ago or so, 30, almost 32 years ago, back to the Purge CD album release party. I don't know if you recall this, not to put you on the spot, but I remember we first had bumped in together when I was working at A&B Sound back in the day on Marine Drive, just when Purge was in the process of coming out. I don't know if you remember that at all, but anyways, not to put you on the spot, but I was
I
in,
remember that. I remember going to that A&B Sound
yeah,
down there. Yeah.
yeah. So I was an EMI buyer at the time, so was had the luxury of going to the EMI listening party for Purge, and I still have the original, which is still a little bit hard to see, but yeah, I got it, of course.
Right on.
Along with, of course, but still, you got to have the true version.
Yeah.
Now, how was that time for you? Like going back to that, like it must have been just kind of unreal, like what was going on for you.
It was unreal. It was wild. I mean, we were on a mission. I I would spend hours and hours, late nights putting up posters. We called, made endless calls. We pushed and pushed and pushed to get people to believe in the band. Um, that was the last night I ever drank. That was the last. I had a lukewarm kokanee was the last beer I had, and the last beverage I had, and it was that night of the Purge record release. Because I saw the potential, the future, and I was like, if you want to do this and you want to do it for real, you got to be sober. You got to have your stuff together. So yeah, I made that decision that night, and I've stuck to it. 32 years later, haven't had a drop.
Very proud of yourself. That's awesome. Good for you. And it's clearly has paid off because
Yeah.
into affliction was just really making your stamp and here's more that we have to offer. And it just seemed like it was just becoming that steady build leading into Devil and so forth. And then things just, it must, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but looking back, I'm thinking it must have been kind of nice to hitting these little plateaus along the way.
It really was. I wish, having lived it, I think any advice for young bands and bands that are out there doing it now, it's like savor every moment. Don't look too far in the future. We were always looking for the next thing. And I think that was unfortunate because we didn't spend enough time appreciating the moment. Not that we didn't appreciate it. I appreciated everything, but I stand on the stage now an extra 2, 3 seconds at the end of the set and take a good look at those faces because you never know when you're going to see them again and you never know if you're going to see them again. So you better, appreciate it, soak it in, and just because it's a blessing. It's an incredible gift to be able to go out and play the songs that you've written for people who enjoy them. There's no better feeling. And so I think we were always like, okay, but then what could we do? What could be the next big tour? What could be the next country? What could be the next territory? And we were always pushing, and that helps, I guess, to propel your band forward. But in terms of just life in and of itself, I think that's one of the advice I give new bands is just savor the moment, slow down, and just really appreciate where you are and what you've done because somehow your song connected and somehow you're on the stage and that in and of itself is a miracle. And then after that, everything else is just like gravy. You can't expect anything out of the industry. You have to earn everything and just stick it out and fight for every bit you can get, but savor the moments because they're few and far between sometimes.
Respecting the grind and knowing that things aren't always instant. And I find that that's just become maybe part of the course now that everybody expects everything so instant and so fast that when things don't happen right away, they get immediately discouraged and go, I'm done. I get
Yeah,
that success right away. Where I look
yeah,
back to your period there was like it's gradual and it's awesome because I think that's where going back to building that fan base, they stuck with you.
yeah, and it's weird too. Like I get how they're doing it now and why and all the reasons, but artist development is a beautiful thing. Like to take an artist and be able to invest in a couple records that don't do so great in order to get to that one that will. It's a big risk, but it's an amazing thing to watch an artist like learn their craft. Now it seems like you have a TikTok song or whatever, and it takes off, and then you're thrown out on the road and kind of have to develop your skills in front of bigger audiences, which is not always comfortable. I think at the time I would not have thought I was blessed, but now looking back on it, I think we were very blessed, having played in front of empty rooms sometimes and learning when the PA doesn't work and you can't get the guitar to stay in tune and all these crazy things that happen on the road. This is, these are the things you have to overcome and learn to put on a show. And we were allowed to some degree to develop as a band using record company, capital to do that. Now, if you don't have a hit right away, then on to the next thing,
Yeah, it's quite sad, but yeah, the ability to persevere and having that determination, I guess yeah, just being a different time can be a lot more challenging for many.
Yeah, for sure.
Man. Well, I appreciate all the time that you've spent with Different Stages Radio today. I'm looking forward to the brand new single, New Gold Magic, that arrives on September the 26th. Looking forward to the upcoming fall tour that starts in Vancouver on October the 4th. Best place to go look for tickets, go to Econoline Crush website. Where should we send people to buy tickets and merch?
Online Crush, music.com, and everything's all there. You can get a link to merch and get links to tickets. And if not, I believe the usual suspects, Ticketmaster, etc., will have tickets for all these shows.
Which of course they will for the upcoming dates in February and March with Live and Big Wreck. TREVOR HURST, Econoline Crush, New Gold Magic, September 26th. Pleasure to have you on the show. This is
Thanks.
Different Stages Radio.